Yo, what's going on, y'all? This Combo Breaker 99 back on the fight front once again. Just want to go back and talk about Adonis Stevenson versus Oleksandr Gvozdyk. First off, I just want to say I just want to send some prayers and some, get well wishes to Adonis Stevenson, and pray for him and his family. As he suffered a 11th round knockout loss to Gvozdyk, and he had to go to the hospital. He had to be taken to the hospital real quick to intensive care because of brain swelling. And over the weekend, he was still in pretty bad shape, but it was posted up, I think about last night, that he was now in stable condition. So, yeah, man, I'm just wishing him the best, man. I know a lot of people hate on him and not fans, but, I was always kind of a fan of him, not just some of the choices he made, but, just as a fan of boxing and what these fighters go through, man. I just hope he pulls through, and whether he returns to boxing, I just hope he is able to enjoy the rest of his life, man. But going into this fight, it definitely turned out to be a passing of the torch. I picked Stevenson to win based off his experience in a very close fight, but looking at Gvozdyk, I didn't count him out. Of course I didn't count him out. If you go listen to our latest episode of the Jab podcast, I talked to him. I think I talked him up pretty good, because Boxing Pete, he was kind of like, he might win. The way you talking about him, he was, where I was describing, he is well-rounded, and he has youth on his side. He's 10 years younger, and he's just all around, better with both hands. And that's why overall, I really wasn't surprised with the outcome. First few rounds, Stevenson, he was coming forward like I felt he would, try to test the chin of Gvozdyk, but he wasn't really jabbing enough. He just kept trying to land that left hand. He really wasn't trying to establish a jab to make the left hand more, concealed, like a concealed weapon if you want to knock him out. But I had to give him those first few rounds just off of the dictating the pressure and landing, the left hand a few times. But Gvozdyk, he was just kind of sitting back. He really wasn't discouraged or intimidated by the power, even though he took the shot on the chin a few times. He was just trying to figure him out. And Stevenson, he was working the body just a little bit, but he wouldn't commit to it like his trainer was saying, man. That's why around 5, Gvozdyk was kind of able to figure him out, and he started using his own jab to block Stevenson's jab when he was trying to jab every so often. It was just easy to block. Like I said, Stevenson, the body work he ignored. A guy like Gvozdyk, you want to slow down because he's going to use his legs and try to tire you out. So I felt like he should have been working the body so he could have got, he could have started going up top, and then the left hand would have had more, results. He would have got more results with the left hand. But the later the rounds went, Gvozdyk, he started getting more comfortable, throwing in combinations, going in and out, using angles. And angles were really starting to give Stevenson a different look. And I think he was having a hard time utilizing that one punch, man. Going into those later rounds, he was really making Stevenson lose a lot of steam. Not by throwing a lot of punches, but just kind of moving around trying to figure him out. I kind of think that age was catching up to him. But right in round 10 and 11, I could kind of tell that's whenever Gvozdyk was, gonna win, man. He'd already kind of picked up the last few rounds, and I could kind of see it in Stevenson's body language that he was still trying to be game, but he really wasn't trying to find a way to win. And he really wasn't utilizing his right hook too, man. Like, if he would have mixed that right hook and that left hand, he could have got some results, maybe knocked him out with the right hand, man. That's why I just kind of felt like he was prodding along through those later rounds. But in round 10, Stevenson did land that big left hand that sent Gvozdyk reeling back. And that was probably Stevenson's biggest moment, to finish. But why he didn't, I don't know. He couldn't even commit to it then. That's why I just don't know if he was already feeling like the effects of the brain, or he was already kind of out of it then. But round 11, that was when it was capped off. Stevenson was a lot more stationary. Gvozdyk was just letting his hands go a couple times on the ropes. He tagged him a few times, and I counted maybe like 6 unanswered right hands, as Stevenson kind of just bagged out to the other side of the corner before that final combination hit him, and he went crashing down, man. And when he crashed, man, he really looked bad. Like, he wasn't out cold, but he was about hanging outside of the ropes. Like, he was just exhausted, and like he was really hurting, man. So, I could definitely see how he had to go to the hospital, man. But overall, man, like, even going into this fight, I already stated it before that I felt like this was a dangerous fight for Stevenson. Like I said in my previous video, his age, it was going to play a big factor, especially when he wasn't consistently in the ring with this type of competition. This might be a sign for him just to bow out. He's probably going to have to now. We have to see how everything goes whenever he comes out of the hospital. But after a performance like that, he might have to. I mean, if you look at a guy like Gvozdyk, he was able to hurt him. Then, Stevenson's got no business being in there with a guy like Beterbiev or Bivol or any of the top guys. So I just hope he has a quick recovery and, go ahead and retire and enjoy the rest of his life, man. So, I wouldn't mind if he did bow out from here, man. Gvozdyk, now that he's the WBC champion, the options are open, man. Light heavyweight division has so many options, man. I mean, you got Barrera out there. That would make it for an interesting fight. Unifications with Bivol, Beterbiev, fight Badu Jack for money. Like I say, all around, he's just a strong technical boxer. But at the same time, all these guys are on the level. Every one of these other fights would be a 50-50 fight for him. There's not one best guy, just like the welterweight division. Everybody got to, go in there and settle it, man. So, overall, Gvozdyk, he put on a good performance. He's a new champion. He earned it. He proved he's next level. Yeah, let me know what you guys think let me know what you guys thought of the fight. And, what you think. Who'd you like to see Gvozdyk fight next? Stevenson, what you want to see him do next, man. But yeah, just make sure y'all subscribe, Combo Breaker 99. Subscribe to the Jab Effect also. And go to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and SoundCloud. And subscribe to the Jab Podcast. Just type in Jab Podcast. And make sure y'all subscribe. But yeah, man, that's all I got. Combo Breaker 99, I'm out. Peace.